Hello all, today we will be using the automatic buttonhole with the Kenmore 385 series sewing machine. So let's get started. Some of the tools you will need include the automatic buttonhole set, which includes like the gear shift as well as the guide block. You will also need the whichever button template you will be using. And with this machine, you can do the keyhole buttons as well as a variety size regular buttons. So you do need these plastic plates with the different sizes. We will be using the buttonhole foot of this particular machine. So this is the Kenmore buttonhole foot. And I have a sample button here. I have some fabric that I have interfaced on the back so that it will be a real button type of situation, because when you're doing buttons in your garments, you want to make sure that you put the interfacing on the back. And then you need your seam ripper of some sort and your sewing machine. All right, let's go over some of the settings for this particular buttonhole function. So when I'm setting up my machine, I have my width on 2, I have my length on 3, and then my foot is on the number 2, the zigzag foot. All right, my tension is on 5, so it should be between 4 and 6. And we need to take off some of the items so that we can do this particular stitch. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off the regular foot. So there is a button in the back. I think it's a red one. So I push that button and the regular foot, the zigzag foot, comes off. Take this screw here. I'm going to unscrew it because I have to take off this part, attachment piece of the presser foot. So I'm going to put that to the side also so I don't lose it. And the buttonhole foot itself, you just attach the buttonhole foot by itself. So there's a hole here, and this screw goes in the hole, and you know, you just connect it like that, and then you attach that. Don't do it too tight. So that's how you attach the buttonhole foot. I want to put my thread through my feet because I always do that. Okay, let's go over this equipment here. So this is the first part of the buttonhole mechanism. This is the gear shift. This is the lever part. There's a hook and 2 pins here. The hook and 2 pins attached to here. I'm gonna lift up this a little bit. The pin here, the pin there, and the hook slide match up with this piece, and that piece, so they go in there together. This is the place where you pull the thread through. This is the guide slot, and then on the back, this is just like the base of it, and then this is the base plate. So this is the bottom part of the function in which you need. And then there's this part, and this part has like the guide slide here. These are the measuring marks. This is where you actually place the plastic plates in there. And then this is the catch that helps to load in the plate itself. So when you are attaching these pieces, it's not extremely difficult. My button is a 6/8 or a 7/8 button, so I'm going to use the 13x16 piece. So I'm going to use this plate, so I'll place it in here. There's like these matching slots, so just match them in here. You may have to pull the catch down to load. So I'm going to use this one, place it right in the center. Match up the lines, the black line to the white line, and it's set. This is one of the most interesting parts here. This gear shift here, there's the gear shift, okay? The part that sticks out has to match up with this inner circle. Now there's a perforated circle here. I'm not talking about the perforated clear circle. I'm talking about the inner circle here that is close to the black mark. So what you'll do is take your gear shift and you're going to place it there, like right, like inside the inner circle or the inner skating ring, as I may call it. Okay, so once you do that, you see that gear shift is right there, then you know that it's attached. Okay, so I haven't attached it to the machine. So what I've done in the past is take my thread and put it through the slot here, because it's easier. So I pull my thread up first, and then I'm going to match those holes. So I'm going to match those holes, and you may have to pull the lever a bit to get it in place like that. So there you go. Make sure the thread is going to the side and that you extend it about 3 to 4 inches out. Before you place it under, I usually take my thread and put it through this part. Okay, so just do that first, and then place it under the presser foot and attach the gear shift to that inner circle that I was speaking of earlier. So I want to place it right there. It should click and it shouldn't move much. That way you know it's in there. And now you're ready to do your buttonhole. So I have my buttonhole here that I've created. I'm going to place it under the presser foot. I want to place it right. The needle should hit the bottom of the line that I created. You should actually see it through the opening in the buttonhole foot. Make sure my thread is going to the side. Hand wheel should go toward me as I put it into the fabric. So I'm gonna watch my gear shift. I don't necessarily have to touch it because the machine will do everything on its own. But since my machine is older, I kind of, you know, gotta baby it a little bit. Now, take it easy, don't go too fast. And hopefully you're seeing this. And if I look at this part, I see that the gear shift is coming around. Now I'm checking here. When it gets to the black mark, I know it's done. Okay, so it's done. Pull the presser foot up, cut the thread. Look at this. Oh, how pretty. It's so wonderful. Now, I used a water soluble marker, so I'll be able to get the blue lines off. But look at that. Isn't that wonderful? So then you take your seam ripper, or if you have a awl of some sort, and then you cut it open, and you've got a perfect buttonhole. I also completed the keyhole buttonhole. Okay, so if you look on the back, that's the keyhole one, and I used that plate for the keyhole. Try it out, buy the attachment pieces, and work it out, especially if you have a lot of buttonholes. So thanks for watching, and happy sewing. Ladies and gents, so thanks for watching this tutorial. Subscribe to our YouTube page as well as like our video. Follow us on social media as well as give us video comments and ideas. And thanks for watching, and happy sewing.